Absolutely. Here's how we'll structure this speech. First, I'll give you 3 keynotes, main themes or lessons, for the title. When the world sleeps, rise and build your legacy. Then I'll write the full educational style motivational speech based on those keynotes. Key 3 keynotes. 1. Keynote 1, The Power of Silent Effort. True greatness is often built in silence, away from the spotlight. While others rest, dreamers work not out of pressure, but out of passion. Every moment of solitude can become a seed of transformation when used for purposeful growth. 2. Keynote 2, The Discipline of Consistency. Success doesn't belong to those who start fast, it belongs to those who stay consistent when no one is watching. Building a legacy is not about a single victory, it's about the daily grind, the persistence, and the self-control that shape your destiny. 3. Keynote 3, Creating a Legacy That Inspires. A legacy is not what you leave behind, it's what you build within others. When you rise while the world sleeps, you don't just build success, you build an example. Your journey becomes a roadmap for others to believe that they can rise too. Keynote 1, The Power of Silent Effort, expanded, 600 words. When the world sleeps, a rare kind of individual awakens, not to noise, not to applause, but to purpose. The hours of silence that others use to rest can become the most powerful moments of growth for those who choose to rise. This is the essence of silent effort, the unseen, uncelebrated, and often misunderstood part of success that truly defines greatness. Every legacy ever built began in quiet rooms, in lonely nights, in moments when no one was watching. The most extraordinary minds, the greatest thinkers, and the most successful leaders understood one timeless truth: what you build in private will one day speak loudly in public. The foundation of any great achievement is laid when distractions fade and focus takes over. While the world dreams, builders create; while others rest, achievers prepare. Silent effort is not about isolation, it's about intention. It's about choosing to use time when it matters most. Think of it this way: the early morning hours or late nights are not merely empty spaces between days, they are sacred opportunities, a canvas where you paint the first strokes of your destiny. In these moments, there are no opinions, no noise, no competition, only you and your purpose. That clarity allows growth to accelerate. People often believe that success is visible, the trophies, titles, wealth, or recognition. But those are simply results. The real success happens behind the curtain, in the discipline no one sees, in the sacrifices no one appreciates. The runner's victory starts long before the race, the musician's performance begins long before the applause. Their strength, their mastery, and their excellence are born in the quiet hours of repetition, mistakes, and improvement. The world rewards what it sees, but life transforms in what it doesn't. When you rise while others sleep, you give yourself the greatest advantage: time. Time to learn, to reflect, to plan, and to act. You separate yourself from the ordinary rhythm of comfort and move toward extraordinary purpose. The silence around you becomes your teacher. It reminds you that growth is not a public event, it's a private commitment. But silent effort requires mental strength. It demands that you push past fatigue, doubt, and the temptation to quit. You must become comfortable with being unseen for a season. You must believe that your work, though invisible today, will shine in its time. Every word you study, every step you take, every small act of discipline, it is all building something bigger than the moment. There's also a spiritual beauty in this effort. When you work in silence, you are not competing with the world, you are connecting with your purpose. You find alignment between what you dream and what you do. This harmony creates inner confidence, the kind that doesn't need validation, the kind that no one can take away. Keynote 2, The Discipline of Consistency. Success does not belong to those who move fast for a moment, it belongs to those who move steadily for a lifetime. The true builders of legacy understand that greatness is not a product of intensity, but of consistency. It is not how loudly you start, it is how quietly you endure. Consistency is the invisible bridge between dreams and reality. It is the act of showing up even when motivation fades, of pushing forward when no one notices, and of staying committed when results are slow to appear. Every great achiever has learned this simple but powerful principle: discipline outlasts inspiration. Inspiration may ignite you, but discipline keeps the flame alive long after the excitement has burned out. We live in a world that celebrates speed, quick success, instant rewards, and overnight fame. But those who truly build legacies know that real success is not found in shortcuts, it is carved through patience, repetition, and unwavering dedication. A consistent person may seem ordinary at first, but with time, their persistence transforms into mastery. Like water carving stone, their steady effort shapes their destiny. Consistency requires more than motivation, it demands structure. You must train your mind to follow a routine even when emotions fluctuate. There will be days when the mind feels tired, when results don't show, and when quitting seems easy. But consistency means showing up especially on those days. Because those are the moments that separate the dreamers from the doers. Think of a seed planted in the soil. It doesn't sprout overnight. The farmer waters it every day, trusting a process he cannot see. Eventually, the roots grow deep before the leaves ever reach the sun. In the same way, your daily habits, the reading, practicing, learning, or working, are the unseen roots of your future success. The stronger your discipline, the deeper those roots grow. It's important to remember that consistency is not perfection. You will stumble, miss days, or lose focus. What matters is not never failing, but always returning. The disciplined individual understands that progress is not about doing everything right, it's about refusing to stay still. Each day is a new opportunity to recommit to the mission, to continue the climb, and to move one step closer to the vision. Over time, consistency turns effort into excellence. What once felt difficult becomes natural. The same routine that demanded effort becomes your rhythm of success. And when that happens, your identity changes, you no longer chase success, you become it. So, when the world stops, you keep moving. When motivation fades, you keep working. When no one believes, you keep showing up. Because consistency is the heartbeat of every legacy ever built. And when your discipline becomes unshakable, your destiny becomes unstoppable. Keynote 3: Creating a legacy that inspires. A legacy is not simply what you leave behind, it is what you build within others while you are still here. The greatest gift of achievement is not fame, wealth, or recognition, it is influence, the ability to inspire others to rise because you once did. When you rise while the world sleeps, your journey silently becomes a light for those still trapped in the darkness of doubt. Legacy is born from purpose, not popularity. It is not measured by how many people know your name, but by how many lives are better because you existed. Each choice you make, each effort you commit to, and each moment you dedicate to your growth becomes a piece of a story that others can follow. People may forget your words, but they will never forget how your actions made them believe in themselves again. Building a legacy that inspires means living intentionally. It means realizing that your work is not just about personal gain but about impact. When you work hard in silence, when you persevere through failure, and when you rise after every fall, you become a living example of resilience. You show others that greatness is not reserved for the few, it is earned by anyone willing to endure the struggle. Inspiration flows not from perfection, but from authenticity. Your flaws, struggles, and persistence teach more than your victories ever could. A legacy is built by those who dare to stay true to their values even when it costs them comfort. It is built by those who continue to give their best, even when the world offers no applause. Every generation needs examples, people who remind them that faith, effort, and discipline still matter. When you build your legacy with heart and purpose, you give hope to those who come after you. You become proof that dreams are possible, that persistence pays off, and that the human spirit can overcome anything. So rise, not just for yourself, but for those who will one day look up to you. Your journey may begin in silence, but its echo will inspire thousands. Because a true legacy is not written in history books, it is written in hearts that dared to dream after watching you rise. Ending of the speech: when the world sleeps, rise and build your legacy. And so, as the world drifts into the comfort of sleep, ask yourself, what are you building while time quietly passes? Each night offers you a choice, to rest in routine or to rise for purpose. The hours you dedicate to growth when no one is watching are the very hours that shape who you become when everyone is. Building a legacy is not a single act of greatness, it is a lifetime of small, consistent actions guided by vision and faith. You don't need applause to keep going, you need conviction. You don't need to be seen to have value, you need to believe that what you're doing matters. Because one day, when the world awakens, your work will speak for itself. Remember, every legacy begins in silence, in the quiet grind, in the lonely effort, in the moments where quitting seems easier than continuing. But those who choose to rise in those moments, those who decide to push through when the world sleeps, they are the ones who change everything. So rise with purpose. Work with heart. Stay true to your vision even when the world doubts you. Let your dedication in the dark become the light for others to follow. Because one day, when your story is told, it will not begin with luck or opportunity. It will begin with these words. When the world slept, you rose and built your legacy.